Book of Numbers Study Bible, copyright 2025, all rights reserved. Chapter 21, 1406 BC. The Israelites make a vow to God. When the king of Arad, the Canaanite, who lived in the Negev, southern desert region, heard that Israel was coming on the road to Atharim by way of the spies, he fought against Israel and took some of them as prisoners. Note: in Numbers 21:1, the king of Arad does not have a genealogy in the book of Numbers. Therefore, the SSB will not provide a genealogy chart for him. End of note? Note: in Numbers 21:1, the King James Version uses the phrase lived in the south. However, the Masoretic text uses a phrase that means dwelling in the Negev. The Negev is the proper name of the southern desert region, a specific dry biblical territory. Therefore, the SSB will use the term Negev, southern desert region, to clarify the location mentioned. End of note. Note: in Number 21:1, the King James Version uses the phrase by the way of the spies. However, the Masoretic text uses a phrase meaning the road to Atharim. Atharim was a region or route name, a route through or toward the Atharim area. Therefore, the SSB will use the phrase road to Atharim for clarity. End of note. Israel vowed a vow to the Lord, Yahweh, and said, "If you will indeed deliver these people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities." The Lord, Yahweh, listened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and Israel utterly destroyed the Canaanites and their cities. The Israelites speak against God. Israel called the name of the place Hormah. Israel journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom, and the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. The people spoke against God, Elohim, and Moses. "Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? There is no bread, neither is there any water. And our soul loathes this light bread, manna." The Lord, Yahweh, sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, "We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord, Yahweh, and you. Pray to the Lord, Yahweh, so that he takes away the serpents from us." Moses prayed for the people. Brass serpent on a pole. The Lord, Yahweh, said to Moses,
"Make a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. It will come to pass that everyone who is bitten will look on it and will live."
Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole, and it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten anyone when they looked at the serpent of brass, they lived. The Israelites traveled to Oboth. The children of Jacob/Israel journeyed and pitched their tents in Oboth. Israel travels to Ijeabarim. They journeyed from Oboth and pitched at Ijeabarim, in the wilderness which is before Moab, toward the sun rising. The Israelites traveled to the valley of Zered. From there they journeyed and pitched their tents in the valley of Zered. The Israelites traveled to Arnon. From there they journeyed and pitched their tents on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that comes out of the coasts of the Amorites. Arnon is on the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. The book of the wars of the Lord, Yahweh. This is why it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord, Yahweh. What he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Arnon, and at the stream of the brooks that go down to the dwelling of Ar, and lies upon the border of Moab. The Israelites traveled to Beer, and from there Israel journeyed to Beer. Beer is the well where the Lord, Yahweh, said to Moses,
"Gather the people together, and I will give them water."
Then Israel sang this song, "Spring up, O well, all of you sing to it." The princes dug the well, the nobles of the people sang, by the direction of the lawgiver scepter, with their staff. The Israelites travel from Mattanah to Bashan. From the wilderness of Beer, they went to Maddanah, then Nahaliel, then Bamoth. From Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looks toward Jeshimon. The Israelites sent a message to the king of the Amorites. Israel sent messengers to Sihon, the king of the Amorites, saying,
"Let me pass through your land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink from the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway, main road, until we are past your borders."
Sihon would not allow Israel to pass through his border. But Sihon gathered all of his people together and went out against Israel into the wilderness. Sihon came to Jahaz and fought against Israel. Israel struck Sihon with the edge of the sword and possessed his land from Arnon to Jabbok, to the children of Ammon. For the border of the children of Ammon was strong. Israel took all these cities. Israel lived in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon, and in all the villages thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab and had taken all his land out of his hand, to Arnon. This is why those who speak in Proverbs say, "Come into Heshbon. Let the city of Sihon be built and prepared. For there is a fire coming out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon, which has consumed Ar of Moab, city in Moab, and the lords of the high places of Arnon. Woe to you, Moab! You are a lost people of Chemosh, non-human deity, god of the Moabites. He has given his sons who escaped and his daughters into captivity to Sihon, king of the Amorites. We shot at them. Heshbon has perished as far as Dibon. We have laid them waste as far as Nophah, which reaches to Medeba." Thus Israel lived in the land of the Amorites. Moses sent men to spy out Jazer. They took the villages thereof and drove out the Amorites who were there. They turned and went up by the way of Sihon and Og. The king of Bashan went out against Israel, he and all his people, to the battle at Edrei. Note: reference numbers 21, 33. Og's genealogy is unknown. He is described by title, ethnicity, giant/Amorite, and territory, but Scripture never records his lineage. All we know is that he was the last of the Rephaim giants, the king of Bashan, and was defeated by Israel. Therefore, the SSB has not provided a genealogy chart for him. End of note. The Lord, Yahweh, said to Moses,
"Fear him not, for I have delivered him into your hand, and all his people and his land. You must do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, which lived in Heshbon."
So Israel destroyed him and his sons and all his people, until there were none left alive. And Israel possessed their land,